Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Dude, you woke me up. I was sleeping. Jesus Christ.
It's the early bird special this week with the podcast. We're doing it in the AM, which is very rare.
11 a.m. Not that early.
It's in the AM, yeah.
Yeah, man. I bartended last night. Got home late. Haven't had a day off in fucking 2 months. I'm exhausted. I get more tired every day, and I got to go back to work after this.
I don't want to depress you, but how many hours did you work this week?
Let's see. 12 plus 40. Probably 55 or 60 plus comedy.
Yeah. Plus the comedy stuff, yeah. And working on the podcast and having a life. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's rough.
Like they say, life keeps coming and it don't stop coming. Something like that. I don't know. The lead singer of Smash Mouth died.
Eventually it does stop coming. Is the moral
it does
of the
stop
story.
coming, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Smash Mouth died, and then Jimmy Buffett's also eating a cheeseburger in paradise.
Yeah. Did I ever? Yeah, I think I brought it up on the pod how I got Jimmy Buffett and Warren Buffett confused.
That's hilarious. I think Lena
I thought
did
they were
too.
the same person. So like every time somebody say like, "Oh yeah, Warren Buffett's got millions and millions of dollars," I'm like,
why?
Man, did Margaritaville really do that well? Like,
well, yeah, actually it did.
How did he do that?
It's funny. Jimmy Buffett actually Margaritaville, like the restaurant. Have you been to one?
I don't think so.
So they have restaurants and shit. You like franchised it. And also there's a Margaritaville community in Florida with a bunch of old people that live there. It's like a real thing. Like, he really milked that thing.
You say that was in Florida?
Yeah, of course. Where else would it be?
So the only exposure I ever had to Florida, but like my grandparents were one of those, they'd come up to Wisconsin for the summer and the fall, and then they go down to the Florida in the winter and shit. But they lived in like a trailer park, but it was on like the water. So it was real nice, and all the houses are real nice, but they're all like just like single wide, double wide, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember just like going to the stores, and just the people from Florida were very different. But this is like, 20 years ago now. But
yeah.
It was, I don't know, a lot more color than I'd realized. Not like people, but just like what people are wearing and shit. I'm not used to like California, Florida type vibes. I kind of live up in the sticks.
Florida is definitely a different animal altogether, man. These people are f***ed.
I feel like all the craziest people or all the craziest stories always come out of Florida. Like, wasn't the guy that ate somebody's face on bath salts, wasn't that in Florida?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that one takes the cake framers.
Yeah. It's the dingleberry of America. It just kind of hangs off there. It's like the dick,
Yeah.
Right in the tip. You got Miami right in the tip, ready to fucking come right into Cuba. Yeah.
You remember those days of back when there was like bath salt incidents? Like they were on the rise, and we just thought this was going to take over the world.
Yeah.
It was weird, dude.
Yeah, it was like the zombie apocalypse thing. But it turns out like there's just some crazy homeless guy once. That's it.
Yeah. We tased him 4 times, we shot him 8 times, and then he finally succumbed to his injuries. It's like, yeah, he was another human.
Yeah. Now it's not bath salts, it's trank. It's that trank dope. You seen those guys on trank? Trank?
What the hell is trank dope? I've never heard that word before.
Oh, it's like taking over cities and stuff. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what the compound is. Maybe it's like something mixed with fentanyl. I don't know. It's that weird drug you see in all the cities now where like people are like passed out while they're standing up. They're like like leaning over, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see it all over the place. It's pretty fucking weird. They call it trank. Maybe it's a tranquilizer. Maybe that's why they call it trank. Probably, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, even when we were talking about Delta 8 a couple weeks ago, I didn't even know that freaking existed. I'm sure there's all sorts of drugs out there that I'm unaware of, so probably better for me not to know.
Yeah.
I don't need to flood my brain with those negative satanic thoughts.
Well, the Lord doesn't want you to, Eric. That's a secret. And I'll tell you one thing: as soon as you open your heart to Jesus, that's when everything starts to make sense. So, yeah, that's funny. That thing you sent me with the Bowser, where it's like Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Yeah.
Great song.
I liked Super Mario, but I was too under the influence to really remember what happened. So it was one of those.
It was pretty good, man. It was like this goofy, kind of silly movie that was not captured by woke ideology, which is pretty cool. I mean, they had white people in it, which is nice. Because Mario's white. They didn't like make him like black or anything.
Make him Italian.
Yeah, well, Italian's white though, isn't it? I think. Yeah. I don't know. Chris Pratt's white. He's the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Oliver Anthony interview on Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was cool because he was saying he would only do one other interview, and I think he did that with Jordan Peterson. I saw that on YouTube earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I guess that's the only interview he wants to do, and then he just kind of wants to be left the fuck alone.
I might do one more interview, but it's not immediately clear who I want to do it with.
That's a Jordan Peterson impression. Not a good one, but
yeah. What was his deal? Because for the longest time, I would be like scrolling through social media, and he would be like this gospel-like figure, and then all of a sudden he just like had like a falling out, and I didn't really realize what happened. Like, did he get divorced or something? Or
no, not at all. Not at all. He's a professor in Canada, and then he expressed ideas that could be considered conservative, if you think about it, because he's a religious man and doesn't think you should transition kids. And he also talks about like the woke mind virus in colleges and stuff. And so he was ostracized and expelled. Or what's the word? Mutinied. Not even. I don't know the words. I'm tired, guys. Go fuck yourself. You want some of this?
terminated? I don't know. Would it just be like you got fired?
Exiled.
There's an exodus.
There's an exodus of Jordan Petersons. Yeah, he was just like branded as this crazy fucking right-wing nut job. But he's a really smart, genuine man that just happens to be religious and happen to be a professor. You know, the older I get, man, the more religion starts to make sense to me. And that sounds crazy because I like grew up like, it was weird because I grew up, my dad was like, it's all bullshit. Nothing happens when you die. It's like, Jesus Christ, Dad, I'm fucking 10, you know? Like, but the more you think about it, man, we just don't know. We really just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of things about like the ancient scripture. I get it that humans wrote it, and I get it that the scripture is kind of bullshit. But what's behind the scripture, you know? Like, some of it's so eloquently written and has to do with like these underlying feelings and emotions that every human goes through. I don't know. It just, I'm not going to be religious anytime soon. I'm not going to be like a Christian, but it's interesting that the Bible was the first book ever written, you know? Like the first book that was distributed. And yeah, there's a lot of wacky shit in the Old Testament, but what does it really mean? You know, like obviously we know there was no like Noah's Ark, but what does it mean? You know, was there an actual flood at some point? Was the Younger Dryas impact, like were we shattered with meteors at one point that caused crazy floods? Maybe. And maybe the only way to pass on a story that long, like thousands of years, is to literally turn it into like a goofy tale that can be passed on. You know what I mean?
It must be where, like, imagine it was back in the times when they were writing it and then something happens and the guy is like, well, we're at least 10 days away walking to the Bible. Well, we got to get there and tell this story.
Yeah.
Everybody was going to the central hub where it wasn't where everybody could read and write because they couldn't.
No. In fact, nobody could read the Bible until I think Martin Luther translated it. So that's the way the church wanted it to be. They wanted to be keep it in like Latin. Even after people didn't speak Latin anymore, they kept it in Latin. Only the priests could read the Bible. Or I don't know what the fuck they're called. Priests, preachers.
Definitely the higher ups.
Yeah, the guy in the church, man. The fucking guy in the church. He was the only guy that could read the Bible. So when they translated it, they're like, fuck, dude. They were like arresting him. They wanted to kill him, put him to death because the church was losing power. See, that's some man shit. That's not some God shit. That's just fucked up.
Yeah, but imagine being like, say you're standing on a little wooden stage and there's 50 people there and they're sitting there and they're going to take every single word you say to heart because you're the one that can read and write.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can abuse this. And before you know it, every Sunday morning we're hiding eggs all around the house and we're stuffing our pants full of bread potatoes and doing the Macarena. Like, what are we doing? It's like, well, it was in the book, man.
Yeah.
Nobody can fact check this fucker. He's just screwing with us, but we won't know. And that was basically that's religion in a nutshell for me.
I'm gonna throw this shirt away. I hate this fucking shirt.
Oh, is that green?
It is.
No. Okay. Well, this will be interesting. You might be transparent this week, Josh.
That might be good because I hate the way this. I hate the way I look. You'll guarantee it. You're gonna hate the way you look.
So all the creamers, by the time they see this, they'll see last week's episode up atop Cream Mountain with Jimbo.
Yeah,
that was a fun little project to do, dude.
It was nice, man. I want to apologize formally. I talked too much and giggled too much, and I found myself to be annoying. But I was hungover, and I had an Irish coffee to try and spark myself up again. So
I think it was good. The only difference was this is the first time we didn't have a black background, so it's hard to like crop around the back of your head because you don't have light. So it's hard to differentiate you from the background. But it was
I think I look good. Oh, speaking of light, I didn't even fucking. Can we pause for 1 sec?
Yeah, you can just do whatever, man.
I'll
cut this part out.
We won't even have to cut it out. Go fuck yourself. You can wait, bitch.
Keep it rolling, baby.
Keep it rolling. Keep rolling. Hey, you know what I found out the other day?
What?
Found out that there's this town that I call on for sales. It's a fucking methed out, horrible place. It's just west of Charlotte. And everybody makes fun of it because it's like a dump. Guess who's from there?
Who?
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, but Fred Durst is from Jacksonville.
Why'd they tell me that Fred Durst was from Gastonia?
I don't know. He's a big Jags fan. He's from Jacksonville.
Oh, well, maybe that was made
Unless
up.
the rest of those guys are from. The rest of those guys might be the Tweakers.
Maybe somebody else in this band. I don't know.
Was it Limp Bizkit or was it like Korn or no? Korn is like from Bakersfield.
No, they definitely said Fred Durst or Limp Bizkit. Yeah, but who knows, dude? So maybe it was just a joke. Maybe somebody was making a dumb joke that I took seriously. Can I tell a quick story of what happened this week?
Go for it.
Oh man, I had this big gig this week. It was at the Tip Top Daily Market. By the way, shout out to the host, Tom. Great fucking guy. Love that guy. He's hilarious, And I was pretty nervous because it was a pretty long set for me. I was going to do like 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And so I basically had to just put all my best jokes together, like in a row. And I had a couple new ones in there. So I get up there. And one of the new jokes is about Helen Keller. This random joke. And it's not a good joke. It's just something I want to try out. It's basically the premise is like throwing a flashbang grenade at Helen Keller and seeing if she reacts to it. So I tell the joke and I say Helen Keller was, deaf, dumb, and blind. And then some lady yells it to me. This is at like 5 minutes into the set. She says, "She's not dumb." And I'm like, no, that's not what I mean by dumb. I just mean like she couldn't talk, So yeah, but she's not dumb. And I'm like, no, I mean like deaf and dumb, like the old saying, deaf and dumb, like she can't talk. And she's like, yeah, but she's not dumb. So then I get into this argument with this chick on stage. And then after that, dude, my momentum is gone. I got like to be on stage for 10 more minutes. And I'm like, so anyways, like this about my dick and that about my dick. And it's like, it's not working. And I'm like, Jesus, I lost him. I do okay. I kind of go through the rest of the set. So the lady that yelled at me was there with her sisters. I find all this out the next day. The lady that yelled at me was with her sisters. And they all have a deaf father. And I Googled deaf and dumb. Turns out I had no idea. This phrase is outdated and offensive. So it's deaf and mute. But, you know, like the Pinball Wizard song, that deaf, dumb, and blind kid, you know, like
Yeah.
the old New York Times articles about Helen Keller. I didn't know that. I thought it was just a word that meant multiple things. I didn't know it was considered offensive. It's been considered offensive for like decades. I had no idea. Like in the deaf community, that's offensive. I mean, it makes sense. It's the word dumb. Obviously, it'd be offensive. But I just did not connect the dots. Had no idea. So the lady that was heckling me, her dad is deaf. And he teaches classes at that same comedy club for sign language.
Oh, read the room, Josh. Was there a translator next to you? Did you not see him on the stage?
He's like, damn. I'm like, fucking, yeah, yeah. And then, so like I said, the host is a great guy. He was great about it and everything. Like I was messaging him the next day. I'm like, dude, I didn't know it was offensive and everything. He's like, oh yeah, in the HOH community, it's pretty offensive. I'm like, wait, what's HOH? So I Google HOH, hard of hearing. And he's like, yeah, I actually have a deaf and mute best friend. And that's how I got into the club to be the host, is because like I'm familiar with the community. So everybody in the fucking place is a part of like, or at least a lot of them were a part of like the HOH deaf community. And I was telling a Helen Keller joke and arguing with somebody on stage about whether or not she was dumb.
Oh no.
And I had no fucking idea. Dude, everybody probably fucking hated me. So,
But in your defense, what are the fucking chances? Like, honestly?
that's what I'm saying.
Are you serious? Like, what are the chances that you were to say that joke, which you've never said before,
Yeah.
at that place,
Yeah.
in that circumstance? That does not,
Dude.
that is the most coincidental thing I've ever heard, dude.
And it was also my longest gig. It was like a legit thing where he's like, hey, come do a set, please. You know? It wasn't like an open mic or anything. It was like my first long gig that I got like a guy that invited me to do it. And so I told a joke that offended everybody by accident. Like that's not the part that I thought people were going to find offensive. You know?
Yeah.
The word dumb. But it's just crazy. Like what are the odds? I do a Helen Keller joke in front of a pro-deaf audience. An entirely 100% pro-deaf audience.
The only one in the bottom 50% of the whole country, and you just hit them that night. That's rough, dude.
Not that any audience is anti-deaf. I mean, that wouldn't make sense. Everybody's pro-deaf. I mean, obviously, it's a disability, but yeah, man, it's crazy. I had no idea though. I'm like, dude, that was fucking rough. And then I found out, oh yeah, her dad's deaf. I'm like, oh, okay, I get
So
that.
how'd you find out all that stuff about her? Like other people told you, like after you got off stage?
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to the host even that night, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, her dad's deaf, but don't worry about it. It's fine. He's like, you're good. You're good, man. And then I was messaging him the next day, and I'm like, oh, so deaf and dumb is offensive. I didn't know that. And then he's like, oh yeah, and my best friend is also deaf and mute and part of the HOH community too. And I'm like, fuck me in the ass.
So you going on like an apology tour? You going around city to city?
Yeah, I'm going on the hashtag fuck Helen Keller tour. Well, the joke, I'm just talking about Helen Keller, man, because it is crazy that somebody that was deaf and mute and blind could still communicate, you know? And do you buy into it? I mean, I know she was smart and everything, but how do we know? We just take her caretaker's word for it, you know?
The only thing that I know about it was that it was on South Park, the Gobbles episode. And she was like, I remember Wendy Testaberger, and she goes, yes, Helen, water, water. That's all I know about Helen Keller. Other than, but the thing is even you were talking about blind, deaf, and dumb. If somebody asked me about who's Helen Keller, that's how I would phrase it. I wouldn't say she's mute, even though she is.
Right. See, I
would
thought
say
that was
because
the phrase. Yeah.
Because the phrase is connected to the person, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I've been known to say the wrong thing from time to time, though. I'll admit it.
So just so you know, everybody, deaf and dumb is outdated. And I Googled it and it was like deaf and dumb. And it said it means they're deaf and mute, outdated, offensive. Like it says that in the definition now.
So
You know?
is dumb mean actually dumb? Or just like a part of the... What does the dumb mean? Because the dumb is the offensive part.
Yeah, I think it used to mean mute. It used to be like a part of the thing, but now it's like an outdated term, which makes sense because it's the word dumb. You know?
Yeah, it could have just been with the word actually being dumb. They took it away.
Yeah, which I
Unless
get.
they were just such dicks back then that if you couldn't talk, they just thought you were a fucking idiot.
Maybe it literally meant the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, oh yeah, he's fucking dumb. He can't talk. Look at this dumbass. Dude, look at this fucking dumbass, dude.
They're doing duels in the middle of the street, drinking from lead cup paints or lead paint cups, and
yeah,
this guy's a fucking idiot. He doesn't talk, and he's just like Helen Keller, genius. Like,
he's gotta be fucking dumb, dude. Did you watch Shane Gillis's new special?
I did. I watched it last night.
Dude, I've watched it like 2 or 3 times. Best special I've seen in like years. So funny. He's the fucking best, man. I love that guy. Ever since he got canceled from SNL, I've been a Shane Gillis fan.
Oh, I didn't even know he was on SNL. I see a lot of the stuff that he does on YouTube from 8 years ago, all the skits and stuffs and pilots for shows that never came to light.
He was on SNL for about a week and then they fired him. Because he made an Asian joke on a podcast years before he got hired that they found, and they fired him for it. Or something like that. It was an Asian joke. So, but it wasn't even like an offensive Asian joke. It just goes to show you that SNL is not funny, and they don't understand comedy or context, and they work for a big fucking TV company, and they haven't been good in fucking 20 years. Fucking SNL. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, they just got all the money, man. They got the crazy high production quality for everything.
And everybody thinks that Lorne Michaels is a genius and everything, dude. And I get it, like the 80s and 90s and everything. SNL was good, even early 2000s. But dude, fuck Lorne Michaels. SNL is not good anymore. It sucks. You know, Dr. Evil is an impression of Lorne Michaels.
Ah, okay.
That's how he talks. So Mike Myers' impression of Lorne Michaels is the Dr. Evil character.
You watched Mad TV back in the day?
A little bit. Yeah. No, not.
I used to watch that quite avidly, like Tom McDonald and Lois from Family Guy, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah.
I knew all the characters. I watched Mad TV way more than I watched Saturday Night Live.
Wasn't Artie Lang on there too?
Yeah. That was back in elementary school days. In middle school, it was on Comedy Central all the time. So I would like tape it and I'd go back and watch it again. Those were the Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers. Welcome to Jackass. And he goes, all right, first stunt we're gonna do. This is the catch the baseball bat with my teeth trick. And he's like standing 20 feet back and they just whip this baseball bat and it whacks him in the face. They do like a dairy challenge. I've always wanted to do this. Just get just be sitting at a picnic table with 2 buddies and you each have to drink this giant thing of yogurt and a gallon of milk and a bunch of cottage cheese and goat milk and feta and then everybody just throws up at the end. I've always wanted to do that. I might do it next weekend, dude, at the bachelor party.
Oh yeah. I'm flying home, baby. 2 days. Oh no. What's today? Sunday. I'm flying home tomorrow night.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Still don't know how I'm getting from the airport to my parents' house, but we'll find out.
Could you get one of your brothers to do it?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
What time are you flying in?
So I asked everybody. I said, I was like, I So I asked Bailey, Cam, and their friend Dave in a group chat. And Bailey said, I would if I could. I'm not sure yet because he just started school, Bailey. He's going back to school and stuff. And Dave said, if you really need a ride, I can switch shifts and I'll come down and get you. And Cam said nothing.
So you're hoping on Dave out of your brother's group?
Yeah. Not even my brother. Not even my brother. Yep. I think my parents, it sucks because I feel bad, man. I just don't want to rent a car and spend fucking $200 or $300 on a car rental that I'm not going to use barely.
Yeah, it's not really even necessary. Are you flying into Manchester?
No, Boston. Which is what sucks.
Okay.
Yeah. And they do have a bus from Boston to Concord, but the last bus is at 10:30 and my plane lands at 11:45. So I won't make that.
Oh, shit.
It's a late
So somebody's got to pick.
plane.
You got to get picked up in Boston at midnight?
Yeah, which sucks. But, the flight was $50 round trip.
Yeah.
So I took it, man. I got that $52 fucking Spirit Airlines round trip, fucking nonstop too, baby. No stops. 2 hours.
I know you've heard about this, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Have you heard about the lady that had massive diarrhea on the airplane?
Yeah, I heard about that. Horrible.
The biohazard plane. They had to turn around on the flight to Barcelona.
Oh God, I'd be so pissed. How can diarrhea be that bad? How can shit be that bad that you have to turn a plane around?
I think what happened is she was sitting in the back of the plane and she tried running to the front of the plane and she was just leaking and spilling everywhere as she was running.
Oh.
Like I picture like a early 50s woman, light blue dress, and she's just running with like her hands, but like her hands are like webbed like this with her fingers. And she's just like covering her beehole and she's like, oh no, oh God. And she's just like running and shitting. She's like bumping into people and like, oh no. And like at one point she like hits down on her chest and she like sprays the ceiling of the airplane. It's, oh Jesus, like what's going on? And then she just like passes, she just passes out and they're like, oh fuck, we got to clean her up.
Yeah. Dude, they should just have a hose on those airplanes. Just hose her down. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like a South Park episode. She's just like shitting and flying all around the plane. She just shits on a newborn baby.
Well, they said it took 5 hours to clean the plane, but it's like by that point, just freaking throw the plane away, dude. Come on. Who's ever going to want to be on flight DL134 again, dude? Come on.
Yeah. Fucking. I was trying to think of a DL diarrhea joke. I couldn't come up with anything quick enough. Flight DL might as well be diarrhea a long time. I don't know. Oh man, what a nightmare. So I know that I texted you about this a couple of days ago. Did you actually end up seeing anything about it? The Obama crackhead scandal on Tucker?
No.
Oh man.
No. I don't watch Tucker.
I love Tucker, dude. He's had some good interviews the past few weeks. Ever since he went to X, it's pretty cool. It's fucking crazy because every time I watch him, I'm like, man, this guy's just right. I don't know. I hate to say that, but I'm on the Tucker train, man. But he interviewed a guy. This is the craziest interview he's done yet. So there's this guy that claimed to have sex with Obama in 1999. And he came out with this in 2007 and was a big thing that got like shut down. And he went on Tucker for an hour and told the whole story in detail about meeting Barack Obama in Chicago in 1999 when he was like still in government, but not like, you know what I mean? Not running for anything.
Presidential, yeah.
Right. And then meeting him at a bar, getting into a limo and smoking. Well, he was snorting coke and Obama was smoking crack. Or smoking coke, but basically crack, freebasing crack, coke, and then having gay sex with him, like for 2 days straight in Chicago, and then flying back to Mexico where he lives, and then seeing him on TV running for president like 7 years later, and he was like, "Holy shit, that's the guy I smoked crack with and fucked," and and there's all these conspiracy theories about how Michelle Obama's a man. Like she's on Ellen and she's got this big old dick flopping around while she's dancing. And I mean, I don't really buy into that stuff. But I mean, she's a manly woman if you look at her, sure. But it's just funny when you put it all together because the letters that came out from Obama a couple months ago. Did you hear about those ones?
No.
Oh, so these are real though. They actually reported on this. This is not just a Tucker crazy conspiracy thing. There's letters from Obama that he said, "I make love every day to men in the imagination," or something, to an old girlfriend. And so Obama's gay. So it's real, or it's at least bisexual. And nobody cares, which is fine. They shouldn't care, but that's real. You should look it up. Obama letter gay. Just type it into Google. It's crazy.
Must be real. The only guys that I really watch is like Ben Shapiro. I watch him like tear into just extremists. And then what's the other guy's name? Matt Walsh on Daily Wire. I love there's one that came out the other day. It was lazy TikToker gets upset when she gets fired from her job or something for doing nothing. Yeah. And I just watched it and it's just like this TikToker. I don't know. Like, how can you be, say, 17, making $50,000 a year off doing TikTok and social media, and then all of a sudden it gets deleted or like things change and you have to start over? That's like devastating for these kids where it's like, back in our day, you went to higher education and I don't know. It's just, like the average kid now has social media that they're trying to promote to be an influencer, you know?
It's just a weird time, man. I like those guys. I mean, I like Matt Walsh. I like Ben Shapiro. I liked What Is a Woman or whatever. They're just a little bit too Republican for me, I think. Like, they don't waver in their beliefs at all. You know, they kind of do like the same thing that the Democrats do, where they like have this checklist of the things they're supposed to believe. Like, they will both still say that, like Ben Shapiro, for example, won't go to a gay wedding, even if it's one of his best friends. Like, he has friends that are gay and didn't go to their wedding because he can't witness it because it's against his religion. You know what I mean? Like dumb shit Jewish? Like that.
What is he?
Yeah, he's got a yarmulke and everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Which I get if it's a religious thing or whatever, but still, it's like, he's like that about everything that's conservative. You know, he's just like, no, that's the way it is. You know, that because they're stupid. Like, he sells on his website, he's got the liberal tears tumbler that he sells. Like, or lefty tears or whatever. Like, he's got like this water thing that you can buy on his website that says like leftist tears on it. It's like, dude, but what about the people that are left wing that make sense? You know, like there's some of them. Like, why are you so against just Democrats? You know, I hate that shit. Like, there's a lot of left, like, dude, RFK is a Democrat. I fucking love that guy, you know? Like, let's settle down. It's not all fucking left and right, blue and red. There's some people on both sides that make sense.
I guess I thought RFK was Republican. I didn't know that.
No, he's a Democrat, dude. He's blue. Very blue. Yeah, he was an environmentalist.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was also the kid that thought the Grand Canyon was in Canada, so I'm a little behind here.
Grand Canyon's in Canada. It's like the opposite. It's in like Southern America.
I discovered that when I got to the front of the class to give my presentation. My friend Thomas is like, "No, dumbass, it's in Colorado." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Okay, buddy.
And Arizona. Yeah.
I did this whole book report and didn't ever read the first sentence of any page that says, "Not in Canada."
The Grand Canyon.
Grand Canada.
Yeah,
what
but
time
dude,
what time do the boys play today?
I don't fucking know, dude. Too busy. I don't care.
Okay.
I think 4.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Fair.
Could be wrong. Not gonna watch it. Gonna work. Too busy. Also, Spectrum and Disney are still fighting. So when I go to work, we won't have any of the fucking channels. Those motherfuckers. Yeah, you know, I like it's everyone's like, man, Disney's really screwing over Spectrum. You know? Like Disney wants so much money from Spectrum. Spectrum says no. And even if you go to like a channel owned by Disney on Spectrum, like there's this big announcement And it's like Disney has been greedy for years. We cannot agree to the contract because it's not right for our customers. It's like they're fighting for you. But dude, think about it. Yeah, sure. Disney's greedy. They're assholes. They're probably asking for more money. Sure, right? Spectrum is a cable company. They don't give a fuck. Cable companies have been fucking people over forever. You know what the cable company could do? They could still fucking buy the contract and still have ESPN and all that shit on and just make a little less money. But they don't want to do that because they're a fucking cable company. I think the real story.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's two greedy corporations fighting with each other is the real story. Fuck Spectrum and fuck Disney. What, we're on Spectrum's side now? Like they're the heroes in the story here? No, it's a bunch of fucking rich assholes. Fuck them both. You know?
I guess I didn't realize how Disney was involved with all that. That's because Disney owns like a third of the world. So
yeah, they own ABC, they own ESPN, they own Marvel, they own.
So isn't an option to get YouTube TV and then you have all the games? Is that a thing or no?
It depends on the channels that YouTube TV offers these days, but yeah, or you just get DirecTV or another. It's the contract with Spectrum is what is under or if you have Comcast or Metrocast or any of those others, you're good. But the Spectrum guys are like, no, fuck you, we don't want to pay more to Disney. So then Disney just pulled all their fucking channels from Spectrum. And what's crazy is Spectrum is the only option for a lot of people. Like, dude, fucking cable companies are a monopoly. Because depending on where you live, it's the only type of TV you can get. You know? Like, I guess you can get DirecTV almost anywhere, but sometimes you can't because the satellite doesn't, you know what I mean? It's blocked.
Yeah.
So then you have to get Spectrum, and you can't like choose between cable companies. There's the cable company. So all these people that are college football fans, Disney pulled the channel that it streams on like the day, like opening day for college football in some states. And people in Florida that have Spectrum couldn't watch college football day one. They're like, are you fucking kidding me?
That would cause a nationwide riot.
Isn't that crazy?
That's not a good idea. You don't want to piss people off about football is like a religious event.
Yeah. So people are pissed, and I don't blame them. And they're still fighting. It's been like 2 weeks now. And you still, if you go onto a Disney channel on Spectrum, it's still blocked. And it's still Spectrum saying, we don't want to pay more to Disney. That's not fair to our customers. No, it's not fair to you. You don't give a fuck about your customers.
Yeah, but their balls are kind of in a vice because eventually, I mean, Disney's got kind of the control, you know?
Yeah. And Disney knows it.
Like, what are they, like, how else are they going to get those football games on Spectrum without going through Disney? There's no way.
They can't.
It's impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, and Disney has enough money to fucking make them wait, you know?
Yeah, they're not sweating it at all. They're sitting there with their Mickey Mouse fucking ears on, like,
yeah.
Fuck these guys.
Fuck these guys. I own you, bitch.
So the first game was on Thursday. I don't know if you saw it, but the Lions ended up beating the Chiefs.
I did, and that's crazy. Who would have thunk?
That is crazy. Well, I'm sure a decent amount of people bet on the Lions to win, but they were definitely underdogs for sure.
Yeah. It's also like, you never know until like week 3 because it's just so new, you know? It could be one of those things where the Chiefs lost to the Lions in week 1, and they still win the Super Bowl because they turn their shit around in week 2 or 3.
Yeah, like they're going to win the next 14 games by a lot. Yeah.
Right. It could be one of those things. You never really know. It takes a few weeks, dude, before you actually know who's good or who's bad in the NFL. I feel like by week 5, you got a good idea. You know?
Yeah. I mean, even last year, the Packers barely missed the playoffs, but all year they were playing like shit and like they won the games they needed to win.
Yeah.
But they play the Bears today at 4:30, so I'll watch that. But it's the Jordan era love.
I'm kind of excited.
Love era.
I'm kind of excited to see Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, to be honest. Dude, they did. That was the what's it called? The
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that was Hard Knocks this year. It was Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Lita watched a couple episodes. We're like, I'm bored. Let's watch something else.
Yeah.
But I do like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I was probably going to see if I could go to a Jets game this year. I just got to figure out when.
Yeah, it's actually not even that far of a drive for you. A few hours.
Yeah, like 4 hours.
Yeah, not bad, dude.
Unless Emily got me tickets to a Packers Giants game years ago.
Oh,
and
yeah?
it took us 8 hours to get home in the middle of a snowstorm.
Well, yeah, if you got a snowstorm, that sucks.
Dude, that was by far
Yeah.
the sketchiest drive I've had in my life. It was.
Yeah.
I remember it was like I was on the home stretch, and as soon as the highway went from Massachusetts to Vermont, you could tell where the plows pulled off and they left like probably a foot of snow on the highway. And I'm driving in that, can't see the side of the road. I'm following people's taillights because that's the only thing that I can reference off of.
Yeah.
And the whole time, it's either I'm riding the rumble strips and I'm too far left, and Emily was yelling at me the whole time, and it was just so stressful. And there's people that would come up behind us, and they would go to passes in the left lane, and they would just drift left and fall off the side of the road.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It was like the scariest fucking thing I've ever experienced, dude.
I've been one of those guys before. A couple times I've gone off the road. Dude, it's all about like learning how to drive in the snow. And if you got somebody that doesn't know, like when I was 16, I was going slow. There was snow on the road and it was snowing. I was going down the hill to Swamp Road. Remember that place?
Yeah.
Yeah. The hill that goes right down before my house. You know, you go
Yep.
up the hill near the swamp, then you go down the hill. I was going down that hill. I was going like 10 miles an hour because I was trying to be extra careful. Apparently, that was a little bit too fast, and my car just started doing this off the side of the road. I'm like, no. And I'm pumping the brake. I'm fucking, nothing you could do, dude. It's braked. Like the car is completely braked. The tires are not spinning at all, and it's still sliding. And then what do you do? You're helpless. I turn the wheel, but I'm still sliding that way. So like, I slowly slid off the road, and dude, when I slid off the road, I slid over a ditch. So my tires in the front and my tires in the back were both on solid ground, and underneath the middle of my car was a giant ditch. Like I slid in the perfect spot because one way or the other, I could have slid like fucking into the ditch. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's one of those things. It's just like, you just slide off the road sometimes and up there.
Yeah. I mean, the one time I ever totaled a car was I was driving down Brickett Hill Road, and that's like a quarter mile all downhill. And then at the bottom of the road, it goes left and right. And then there's just an opening, and you could fall like 15 feet to houses down below. So it was snowing. Went to go see Cody Allen at Subway, RIP. He's not dead. He's not dead. He's still alive.
Jesus Christ.
So I was going down the hill, and I started sliding down the hill like to the side. And I remember my mom doing that in high school. She would grind against a snowbank and then come to a stop by the time that she hit the stop sign. Well, there wasn't enough snow for that. So at the last house, I went up their fucking lawn, flipped upside down on the roof, and then it was like spinning. And I like stopped in the middle of like the road, and I was like, fuck, dude. My dad's gonna murder me.
Yeah.
And then I'm standing out there. I was wearing flip-flops at the time, and but it was literally one of those, you're upside down, and as soon as you undo the seatbelt, you just fall to the roof of the car. And then me and Clive both climb out of the freaking windows, and I'm standing there, and then Brittany Fleury and her sister show up, and I'm like sitting in the back car of them as I'm waiting for the cops to show up. I call my parents. I'm like, yeah, you guys are going to want to come down and see this. And so as these people are coming, I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, dude, I'm so fucked.
What car was it? What car was this?
That was the white. Was it white? I think it was white. Like an Altima or something. But it was only a couple months after they had it, but I fucking totaled it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, if it's upside
my dad
down,
was, next day, because I was home for a winter break from college, and then the next morning my mom was instructed to bring me back to college before my dad shot me in the face. He was pissed.
Of course, dude, but it's an accident. I mean, what are you gonna do at the end of the day? It's not like
it was so unnecessary. Like literally, the reason I was leaving was to go see Cody at work for 10 minutes and come right back.
Yeah, but you're also were a young kid and accidentally wrecked a car, you know? It's not like, I mean, they're called accidents, dude. They're not called on purposes.
Yeah,
you know, shit
true.
happens. Sometimes you get into an accident and sometimes it's not your fault. That's true too. Sometimes it's just the circumstances, you know? You never know what's going to happen, man. I've been in a few accidents.
Yeah, you're out of everybody I know, you've probably been the most car accidents that I know.
Yeah. Plus, get insurance. That's what insurance is for, man. I mean, you might have the little deductible, which kind of blows, and your insurance is going to go up, but you know, that's what it's for.
It's like the road that I live on now is 50 miles per hour. And if I'm coming from Keene, it's on the left, so I have to cross traffic to get into my driveway. And there was a couple times over the winter, every year it happens, but I'm going a little too fast trying to like come to a stop to go into my driveway. And I'll like literally slide almost and hit my mailbox on the opposite side of my driveway. And I'll do like this weird, like 120-degree turn to get into my driveway. But
yeah,
it's not too bad. I also got a mailbox that moves if you hit it. So
yeah,
if I smash into it, it's not, I mean, I'd fuck my car up, but I wouldn't like destroy my bumper.
Oh yeah, because somebody else took your mailbox down, right? And then you had to get a new one.
Well, yeah, that was the mail or the plow trucks.
Yeah, your most viewed video ever on YouTube. It's just you fixing your mailbox or some shit, right?
Yeah, it was 1,500 views. I carried in the mailbox at like midnight. Now the most viewed one is Jimbo light me on fire in a Santa suit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
fucking Jimbo. Oh man, that was fun last week, dude. He's a great guest, man. He just kind of chimed in when he had something funny to say. It was great.
Yeah,
it was good. I like he like yes ands, you know, because I hadn't talked to him in a while. So we were talking about the Chinese man drinking my cum, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, it was a good pod. It was fun to edit. And as everybody's watching this one too, this is the second episode from Atop Cream Mountain. I'll change it up every couple episodes or every 20 episodes or something.
Yeah.
But, I think with the clouds and the ice cream sundae, especially this week, it'll be nice because Jimbo will be missing, but it'll be very photo-esque.
Let me try and see if I can give it a lick. See how that turns out in post. I'm thinking it would be right about here-ish.
Yeah, right in the middle, right?
Yeah. Right here. Right here. Get your cream fondle. Take a scoop. Take a scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, what do you think, man? Do you want to wrap it up? It's almost about 50. Or is it too early?
Now we're at like 47, but we can call it.
Man. Yeah, you woke me up with the FaceTime call. I swear to God, I fell back asleep. I had my alarm set and everything, and then fell back asleep. And then it's like, shit. Roll over. It's like 11:03 and you're FaceTiming me. I'm like, God damn it.
Hey, man, we made it work.
Made it work.
Cream every week. That's the way it works.
I got to go back to work in a couple hours here, but yeah. By the way, bartending, if go to a bar and the guy's busy and he has like 50 drinks to make and he's working fast and you're a couple and you sit in front of where they make the drinks, in front of the well, every time he makes a new drink, don't say, "What's that one?" That's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. That's what that is. I have to make 55 drinks. I don't have time to explain every single drink to you. You're an adult. 1, you're an adult. 2, you've been an adult for a while. 3, you should know what you like to drink and what liquor is. Like, this isn't a fucking class. Just because you're in front of where I'm making the drinks, this is not a tutorial or a class in which I'm going to describe every drink in detail to you. I've got a lot of shit to do. Go fuck yourself. What do you think of that?
But what did you tell them?
I told them to go shit in their hat and go fuck themselves. I'm busy. No, not really. I had to fucking tell them what it was. Well, what's that one? Especially because it's like, if it's a specialty cocktail, like it's not like a real cocktail. It's like your own restaurant's thing. Because every restaurant wants to do their own cute little list of special cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one? Oh, this is our South Main Fizz cocktail. What's in that one? Well, you just watch me make it, but it has lemons and mint and gin. Oh, is it good? Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyways, I got to make 50 more. So go back. You make another one. Ooh, what's that one? This is our, like, dude, fuck off. I'm not here to have a, like, I'm busy. You know what I mean? That shit's so annoying. Or when you walk by with a drink and you hear them talking amongst themselves. Like, oh, did you see that one? Did you see that one? Ooh, that one looks good. I wonder what that one is. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. What was that one you just walked by with? Fuck you. I fucking hate that shit, but I gotta go do that in a couple more hours, so.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I hope they're not there.
Excuse me. They're always there. That's a dirty little secret, Rick. If they're not there, their clones will be. They're always there. They're always there amongst us. These fucking asshole customers, these annoying people. You know, it's 5% of people in the population are super annoying, and they all sit at the bar. So.
Yep.
Till next week, everybody.
Stay creamy.
Hell.